On the 24th of February 2022, Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
In the day, the 24th of February, my husband in the morning, he called me and told, don't take girls to school because war is begin.
We woke up because of bombs, and I guess it was the most horrible morning in my life.
This led to over 12 million people fleeing their homes.
Day after day, months by months, I started thinking that I must take them to a safety place to protect them.
As of March 2023, over 100,000 Ukrainian refugees have arrived in the United Kingdom. In May 2022, Zoriana and her daughters Yana and Diana left Ukraine for the safety of the UK.
It was very difficult when you sit at home, stay at home, and you hear attention alarm siren, and you must take your children to underground shelter in another yard, take a small bag with your documents, with some water, with some snacks for them. It is very difficult to make a decision to move to another country. You need to find a safety place for your children. That is most important for every parent, because first of all you must think about future of your children, about their mental health, and when you can put all your life in one suitcase, it's very hard. Then I saw in TV news that site Opora, British people, they will help Ukrainian refugees. In that site I put my profile. Peter wrote a message that they can help.
They were hosted by retired couple Peter and Judy, who live in Bridlington.
We saw an opportunity to make a difference, and what with the war in Ukraine and things. So we decided that we would offer some practical help and do what we could as individuals to try and make a difference to some of these people's lives. There's a charity that's called Opora, O-P-O-R-A, and they're a digital charity. And the call went out by the British government to register to pair up with Ukrainian refugees in case you didn't know anybody out there, which we didn't. We went onto their website, or we navigated it and stuff, and there's a little matching section, and there was the family Avrinova. They only posted that day, and I wrote them a brief note. Zoriana, the mum, responded, and then we went down the road of talking to each other a little bit, getting to know each other better.
And then you must make a very difficult decision, because it's not only your life, it's like lives your children. We take one suit with a few trousers, socks, t-shirts, and we came here. And now I really can say that it is right decision.
We went to Doncaster Airport and we picked them up. We had a big sign, brought through. They had one bag between them. They had very little on the toiletries, But the girls had 1 or 2 t-shirts each and what they stood in. That was largely it.
For the last few years, Natalia lived in Kyiv, and she moved in with a couple in Driffield after her country was invaded.
I'm originally from the center part of Ukraine, but I used to live last few years in our capital, Kyiv. I have been for 4 months in Poland, and then I decided to move on because, I don't know, I couldn't back to Ukraine because it still was dangerous. And I decided if I want to build my life, I need to find a way how to do this. So I decided to go to England. To open this visa, you need to find people who will host you.
Natalie and her 8-year-old daughter Amalie were originally from Kyiv, but lived near Odessa before the war. At first they escaped to Romania, where they lived for nearly 2 months.
I'm Natalie, and it's my daughter Amalie.
Hello.
We were born in Kiev. At the moment when the war started, we were in Odessa, Chernomorsk, about 20 kilometers from Odessa, seaside. After that, messages from our Kiev families that Kiev is bombed and Russia started the war. And I guess it was the most horrible morning in my life, without understanding where to go, to stay inside Ukraine, to wait for something, I don't know what. We were pretty sure that in 2 weeks everything will be finished. That it's just 2 weeks, nothing more. So we ran away to Romania through Dunai River.
After the British government began offering visas to Ukrainians, they decided to move to the UK.
Lufthansa lost my luggage. I arrived to UK without any clothes, any cosmetics, absolutely no shoes, anything. Yeah, I chose one family, Huxby family, amazing, absolutely amazing people, very kind.
Yeah.
Katie Huxby is a teacher in school, St. Oswald School. It took me about 2.5 months to find a house to rent because I had a cat.
Although the hosts receive £350 a month in government support, this only covers the essentials. Through different charities, there is more help out there.
We dealt with a small charity that supplied the Avrinovas with SIM cards for their phones, and they got 6 months free calls to the Ukraine and things. Because anyway, these guys had no money.
All support was from Fulford and York community.
Yep.
And first 3 months I was not employed. After that I found a job in York University, the Guildhall. First emergency help was absolutely generous. Very, very, very supportive.
I always say, as I was saying to the head of the school the other day, I'm just a small cog in the machine. And Judy and I are doing this because we can. We've retired, we've got time, we've got the room to put them up in, and we can. But everybody contributes in their own way and make this happen. It's not just Judy and I. You've got the school, they've got the individual teachers, the head and so on and so forth. They do a great job with them.
When we came here, one lady, her name is Linda. She is also so nice. When it was first our meeting, she tried to say hello in Ukraine, and just like to help us. She bought for girls shoes to school, and we also she can visit us in her Diana's birthday, Jana's and my, yes, and just come to us to drink a cup of tea, to play games.
Our families have been very supportive.
They have,
They
yeah.
met our families, yeah.
Yeah, they met all our families. Judy has a son and a daughter, and they've been across, and some brothers, they've been across. My daughter works in London, but she's come to see them, and we've been down there to see her. My son comes across, he lives in Driffield. He comes across every Wednesday and every Saturday. and he runs them around in his car and various bits and bobs. So as I said earlier on, was they would have to live as a family, and they've become family for me and Judy, and my family and Judy's family. In fact, I'll go so far as to say, I love those two children as my own. I know they're not my own, but I love them as my own, and I treat them as they're my own as well. And I treat Zoriana the same way as I would my daughter. And we have I believe, a great harmonious relationship.
I lost my parents. My father died in 2014 and my mom in 2019. So these people are, for me, it's word from my heart. They are like parents. And sometimes I came to Peter, I hook him, and I say him, thank you, Papa dear. Thank you for that support, what we have here. Because it's not here I feel myself not like refugee. I feel like I'm a daughter, you know. And they also are happy.
Hull for Ukraine was started by residents of Hull to support Ukrainian refugees who had moved to the East Riding. They coordinate donations of essentials to be sent to people still in Ukraine.
My name's John Holmes. I am originally from Hull, and I'm back here because of the war in Ukraine with my wife of 28 years. I went out to Ukraine in 1993, and over the years we've set up a couple of businesses there, and employed local staff, and heavily involved in shipping, predominantly shipping of steels out of Ukraine worldwide. Of course, when the war started and both my wife and myself left Ukraine and we came back to my hometown and settled here, we found there was quite a need for support with the Ukrainian families which were coming across here as refugees. The UK has always been a very compassionate country and nation of people as far as bringing refugees in.
We met up with John and his wife Lilia at the Ukrainian hub in Hull.
Hull for Ukraine was a spin-off from Hull for Heroes. When the war started last year, there was quite a few people that were in the committee for Hull for Heroes decided they wanted to support Ukraine. The girls that were involved with the Hull and East Riding Ukrainian community wanted to keep it going. And they were collecting and using their houses as storage for distribution, for goods going to Ukraine. And I must admit, I visited a couple of the ladies' houses, both of us, Lilia and myself did, beginning of this year, and it was a shame that where they were living was up to the roof with donations. So we decided that we would start looking around for another storage place, warehouse, and we'd done quite a few presentations to various companies, but the problem was they were only working Monday to Friday. We needed something 7 days a week, if possible, where we had access to it. Trinity House very kindly, in talking to them, Trinity House very kindly offered us this space. Well, he offered us 3 spaces down Whitefrigate here, but this one seemed more suitable and we could take it on long term. So we came to an agreement with Trinity House where we could use this space and set up in here. And then, what was it, last month, the mayor officially opened the hub for us. And but it's mainly as a storage, distribution, donation centre, a place where we can collect goods and box them up and distribute them. But that was basically the concept behind this place. We wanted somewhere that was handy, close to the city centre, And what better than White Frigate, right in the city centre? These murals on the walls. At the bottom there's a little thing, wall things bright and beautiful. And it was a lady and her daughter who do this professionally. She's an artist. And she came in during the May Day holidays and painted the wall. And the face was one of the volunteers at the particular time. She used the face as a model. As you know, and you see in the news basically every night, the civilian population is getting attacked with
Injured.
missiles and injured. They're losing everything.
With civilians at risk, donations are still very much needed on a daily basis.
Yeah, we have a list of the items which priority for donation, which would be sleeping bags and inflatable beds, sanitary items and hygiene products, adult nappies, water filtration tablets, towels, socks, food, terms food also, maybe preservings,
Preserved foods, yeah,
Yeah.
cans and the likes, yeah.
portable gas stoves and generators. This is for areas which have been flooded and you don't have a proper water. You don't basically you lost everything.
Yeah.
No water, no sewage, no gas, no electricity. It's nothing. Just a desert. It's not habitable. But people have to stay there, and we are lucky one who could stay in England and enjoy peaceful life. But people who stay there and who, for whatever reason, cannot leave Ukraine, live in a very hostile conditions. So this is what we are looking for, and would be happy to receive such donations. So this is for civilian purpose,
Yeah.
because it's for civilians who suffered most.
And when you bear in mind that when the hydroelectric dam was blown up in Kherson, this is front line. The Dnieper River is basically the dividing line in the south between the occupying forces and the Ukrainians. So the likes of Kherson still getting regularly bombed. They can't put much in the way of humanitarian aid into the region because it's still a very dangerous location. It is front line. So, of course, the people are still suffering in that area. And a month on since the hydroelectric dam was blown up.
Young people could have moved other areas in Ukraine or abroad, but elderly people actually suffered most. And if they lost everything, basic clothes, like in the villages, it's flooded, you lost your stock, you have it, maybe chicken, a cow, or something, your crop in the garden, which you feed yourself through the year. But you lost everything, and it's very, I cannot even imagine to be in a situation. It's, even for me as Ukrainian, I can't imagine. But people still live there. They don't want to leave the places, and we can do maybe just a little bit to help to make their life a bit easier. So hence the reason we are here.
This is just one place within the UK. There are many, many, many groups inside the UK which are doing similar collections, similar donations, sending them to Ukraine, and not only in the UK. You've got Europe, Ukrainian communities throughout Europe. I was even reading recently that there was a set of donations had gone through from the Falkland Islands to Ukraine. A lot of the people in the Falkland Islands understands what it's like to be occupied.
Yeah, and without support of the local population, it would be impossible. We're so grateful to local people coming and to donate whatever they can, even in situation. Life is hard here locally also, but people still prepare to share and give something to suffered, and it's amazing. Generosity of people is absolutely amazing. Uh, to give, open their houses, to give whatever, to share whatever they have. People generosity, we are thankful for that, and on behalf of all Ukrainians who get this support, finally we all here to give it to people in Ukraine, and so every little donation helps us to win the war and to come back home.
When they first arrived, Jana and Diana couldn't speak any English. However, they soon picked it up, and a year later their English has largely improved.
We had a chat with Oriana, and she wanted to work. Her children were introduced to the school down the road, Bellin School, which has been absolutely outstanding. The school has been great. When they came, they couldn't speak English at all, the kids.
When we came here, Yana, she can't speak, like zero. He just understand, and what she need to say, she say me, Mom, how it will be to translate, thank you, it was very tasty dinner. I said for her one part of sentence, she repeat, then I said again, she again repeat. But now, in the Christmas, she had a present, a coupe, a chatterbox. Yeah, so.
The little girls have come out with some phrases that I'm astonished, really. Little Jana, age 9, we were moving the table the other day to get everybody in, and she's moving the table, and all of a sudden she looks at Judy and she said, "Hey, we're cooking now." Unbelievable! Age 9 and Ukraine.
When we came first there, head teacher, and Mrs. Beckett, she met us very friendly. Another teachers also, children are very also opening. They help them. They have a lot of friends. Yes, I can say just only nice words, and just greatest thank you for everybody of them. Jana has a perfect teacher, Mr. Stad. He is a very young teacher, handsome teacher. Yeah, every child in school include Diana, because she also had math lessons with Mr. Stad last year. So yeah, every teacher is nice. Diana also had nice results. She had a after school gymnastic club, cheerleading club. So yeah.
I guess that Amelie loves her school. Amelie,
Yeah.
tell me about your schools.
Katie Haxby was helping me with homework for maths, and the school, our growth and success was really nice. I loved it. I even want to come back.
I'm a student in Striding College, in level 2 beauty therapy. So it is big choice to find here what you would like to do here and how you can help to your Ukrainian people. Ukrainian is your, like, it's in your blood. You will, whenever you are Ukrainian. You wake up with a mind, God bless Ukraine. You go to bed, you pray for Ukraine. When we came here, I think that it will be just for a few months, and we will come back home and we will celebrate Christmas at home. But I still believe how most of Ukrainians and most of people all over the world, I know that Ukraine will win, definitely.
My family members are still in Ukraine. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my grandparents are still in Ukraine. On 31 of December, Kiev was bombed a lot, so Russians congratulated Ukraine. Happy New Year. It was like 16 bombs, and my family was calling and saying goodbye to us because pieces of these rockets arrived just in next building.
Yeah.
About 1 month ago, just next building where my grandmother, my aunt, and my cousin, uncle live, was half destroyed, and it's a city center. So it's like when you leave and you understand that every day you can lose someone from your family, it is very hard. And you get generally less emotional. We are not able to cry already for 1.5 years. We cried every day first half in a year, but we're not able to cry 1.5 years. I have responsibility, my daughter, so I need to find something happy in this life to give her more support.
In Ukraine, we have our lovely daddy, my husband. Yes, he is coal miner, so he is still in Ukraine.
This March, the family returned to Ukraine to visit Zoriana's husband Denis.
It was really a difficult decision to visit my husband in Ukraine for a few days, but we should did it, and I really very happy that we did it, that we visit my home, my husband, our lovely cats, and it's so nice emotions that you can feel it, and again come here. And my husband, he also visited us for a few days in May, so it was the greatest and the first experience for him to visit England.
Since moving to the UK, the Ukrainians have noticed the many cultural differences we have between our nations.
I feel like everything different, like culture, how, like, but food, I was trying to like show my house what kind of food you can eat, and I don't know, sometimes they like it, sometimes not. It depends. But I don't know, I feel like for me it was hard to find food that I would like here, because I get used to like more vegetables, more different, like, and here it's, I don't know, not like this. Sometimes my host just when I bought something like fruit or vegetables, asked me what is it. But for me, it's like, I don't know, usual stuff that I would eat.
When I was at school, I didn't want to go to school. My son didn't want to go to school. He once told me that his legs wouldn't work in the morning because he didn't want to go to school. These guys are knocking at the front door at 8:25 to get out to get to school. They're so motivated and they're so supported by the local community. The difference between our world and their world is pronounced in certain ways in certain areas.
In England, I can see how children has different schools, some different subjects, and I would like to suggest it to our Ukrainian schools to help them. And also I would like that our teachers come to English schools and English teachers come to visit our school just to help do the best.
They had to go to the doctors, and we saw a doctor, and the doctor wrote a prescription, and she said, "Would you want me to pay for it now?" And the doctor said, "No, you go to the chemist, give him the prescription, he will give you the medication." She said, "For free?" She said, "Yeah, for free." And at that point she started to tear up, that this was something that she'd never experienced before. And in the Ukraine, they have to pay for the doctor's gloves, the syringes, and everything. But here, we don't see that. We thought that we'd all eat, food around, so it'd be the Ukrainian food on Monday, ours on Tuesday, and so on. Which is all well and good until we saw the Ukrainian food, which is basically beetroot, turnip, and wheat, which is fine. And of course, my advanced palate isn't ready for that sort of stuff yet. And then we tried on our food, and they like certain things. They don't like beef because they're a pork nation. So I think pork is a killer.
But they never tried gravy before.
They've never tried gravy before. They've not had Yorkshire puddings before. They've never had a roast dinner before. They didn't use. They struggle with knives. They don't use knives over there as well. So that had to be reintroduced. Water was a big eye opener for Zoriana. She said when the first day she went, "Can I get some water?" She said, "Where is it?" I said, "It's in the tap, where it normally is." "Oh no, we drink from the tap. You get a glass and you go over, you fill it with water and you drink it." Well, in Ukraine that's not the case. The water to the tap in Ukraine is deemed undrinkable, and it has a nice little yellow tinge as though somebody's just, or something's just done something to it.
The refugees all have their own hopes and dreams for the future of their own lives, as well as the future of their nation as a whole.
Dreams is come back home, live in your country, do the best what you can do to help children have best future.
It's up to us to create an experience for them that they go back and they do remember. It is one of the reasons why I'm doing it, because I want to make a difference to somebody's life. And to make a difference to a family is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We will remain, we will stay close, I believe, and we will go and see them 2 or 3 times a year. They might come and see us and things. But who knows what's happened with the daughters? Diana is 11 now. They're very, very clever kids, very bright, pick things up extremely quickly. She will go to university, I have no doubt. And if what is true is what's happening is if the Ukraine join the European Union, then she will go to university anywhere in Europe. And she may even choose to come back to England to do it. So I see our family being intertwined until the day that Julie and I leave this mortal coil. And of course then it will fall back on my son and my daughter who are very close to them as well. And I think it'll just go on I hope it'll go on for generation after generation.
This situation what we have now, and that family, Peter's family, they help us such a lot that it can be just that small period in our life. It will be long life for their part of family and for my family, because I think that we are a part of their family now. And they will say to their grandchildren, I will say to our grandchildren about how we came here, how people helped us, greatest support, greatest help. You can just forget it and like open another page. It's a history, and we all write that history right now.
We are going to have about 500,000 ex-soldiers with depression.
I know that Ukraine will win, definitely. But we just need more support from other countries. Don't forget about our war and help us to win and to survive.
I can tell you for sure that visas are until 1st of December 2024, and everyone who stays with universal credit will not get any visa anymore. So it's going to be working visa only, or fiancé visa, wife visa, and everyone who is not suitable for these parameters are going back to Ukraine. That's the reality.
in the next year, Diana, she will be in a new big school, Headland School. So it's the greatest opportunity for her to learn more and more, to have new friends, to learn more English and other subjects. Also, I'm doing my finish steps to have level 2 diploma beauty therapy. I will try to be in a level 3. And also I had a inviting letter that we will have a meeting about that nomination, Student of Year. Yeah, I'm right? How its name? That letter, Student of Year?
Yes.
Yeah. Nomination Student of Year.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm right. So it's really, really nice.
A few days ago, Peter showed me a video how British soldiers help our soldiers to have new skills. It is so like brother nationalities. It is so nice feeling, and I know that everything will be good, and just say thank you. I think I can't find a lot words to say them thank you, because it include from weapon to help our soldiers to win, include help to people to have them opportunity here to feel that you are protected.
It's a big thank you and for helping.
І хочемо сказати великі слова вдячності для всіх англійців.
And we want to say very big thank you to English people.
Ви відкриваєте свої серця і домівки для українців.
You open your homes and hearts to Ukrainians.
Ви справді неймовірні.
You are really incredible.
Thank you very much. Дякуємо вам.
Дякую. Thank you.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your help and support.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Дякуємо.
Thank you from all of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you for your help.
Thank you for your support. Дякуємо за підтримку.
Thank you.
Дякуємо за допомогу. Thank you for your help and support.
Thank you.
Дякуємо.
Thank you very much. Дуже дякую.
I would like to say thank you from me, my mother, and our whole family to the English people and the English government for helping Ukrainians.
Thank you, United Kingdom, for opening your hearts and homes for Ukrainians.
Ми щиро вдячні вам за вашу підтримку. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very much. Дуже дякую. Everyone in England are really nice people. Thank you for everything, England. Дякую.
Дякуємо за підтримку. Thank you for your support.